Good morning. So I know that a lot of libraries are starting to shut down, and we are working with whatever books we have on hand in our home library. So today's theme, I think, is pretty universal. No matter how old your kid is or how many books you probably have a book that has something to do with this. And the theme of the day is food. I just looked at my kids' bookshelves, and there's quite a few books that have to do with food. So one that I really like, The Pigeon Finds a Hot Dog. Anything Mo Willems is just hilarious. I love his funny characters and everything. So if you can find an online copy of this book or anything by Mo Willems, you should. I know he's doing an online doodle sessions. Awesome author. So this book is about hot dogs and eating hot dogs. So you can pick really any book that has to do with food, and that will branch us into our activity of the day. So our activity of the day, I got a newspaper on my front porch. Usually I just don't even open those. It was like a city paper, but I did open it just to see what there was for craft ideas, and there were a bunch of ads from grocery stores. So I started clipping out all of the different food pictures. I got these little grocery sacks. You could get just a piece of paper and write grocery list at the top. You could draw a grocery bag on a paper, or you could get a sack like this, however you want to do it. I cut out the brand. This is a Kroger bag, and my daughter made it. So basically, I cut out all the different pictures of food, made a huge pile on my table, and I said, kids, if you were going to go to the grocery store and you could pick out whatever food you wanted there, what would you put on your grocery bag? And I said, we glued it on the bag, and I said you could only pick as much as will fit, so they had to pick what was their favorites. So it's kind of interesting. We've got grapes, milk, cupcakes, of course, candy bars. I cut out a lot of pictures of treats and stuff. I was just kind of interested to see what my kids would pick. Cheese, ice cream, orange juice. But my kids were 3 and 5, and they had a blast doing this. Just because it was fun, imaginative. They love, if you were the adult, what would you do? So this was a really fun activity we did, just talking about food. So what you could do if you wanted to branch this over to a book is maybe in the book the characters are making a certain recipe. You might have all these foods out and say, what would you need to buy to make this recipe? Or you can just do what I did and say, what would you want to buy if you could buy anything? Just kind of relating it back to food. Another thing, if you don't have a newspaper ad, you could definitely draw the things that you would want to buy. You could print them out online. You could do it digitally. So anyways, just an idea to help pass some time and hopefully get you reading a little bit. There's a lot of, you could even go through a recipe book with, I have a kid's recipe book right here. This used to be my husband's. And now the kids like it. They like to go through and they just look at the pictures of the food and they say, oh, that looks yummy, or oh, that looks yucky. But you could do this with a kid's cookbook or even a cookbook you already have and make a grocery list of what you would need to make it with your kids. Just spend time looking through books and doing some activities to pass time.